Gentlemen, I need to ask you something, and I want you to be honest with me. When you were younger, perhaps in your 20s or early 30s, how many times could you manage in one evening? 2 rounds? 3? Maybe even 4 times back to back, and you'd still wake up the next morning ready for more. But these days, things feel rather different, don't they? After one orgasm, it's as if someone's flicked a switch. Your body simply shuts down, and no matter how much you might want a second go, that erection just won't return. Does any of this sound familiar? If it does, I want you to know you're absolutely not alone. In fact, over my 25 years practicing as a urologist here in the UK, this has become one of the most common concerns men bring to my clinic. Dr. Wright, they'll say, why can't I get hard again for round 2 like I used to? And more importantly, is there anything I can actually do about it? Well, I've got good news for you. The answer is yes. There are proper solutions, evidence-based approaches that actually work. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how your body functions, why things change as you get older, and the specific steps you can take to recover faster, maintain better performance, and enjoy deeper intimacy even after 50, 60, or beyond. Now, before I continue, can I ask you to do something for me? If you find this information useful, just tap that like button down below. It helps more men find this content. And do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos on men's health. I'd also love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop a comment and let me know. I've got blokes joining from all over the world, and it's brilliant seeing this community of men supporting each other. Right, let's get into it. First, I want to address something that many of you might not be expecting me to say. Before we even talk about going for round 2, I need to be completely straight with you about something I've noticed in my clinic over the past few years. An increasing number of men who come to see me aren't actually struggling with round 2 at all. They're having difficulties with round 1. They're finding it challenging just to achieve or maintain an erection the first time around. So if that's you, if you're sat there thinking, round 2, I'd be chuffed just to manage round 1 properly, then I want you to know that's absolutely valid and you're not alone. In fact, I'd estimate that nearly 60% of the men over 50 who walk into my clinic are dealing with this exact issue. So whilst today's focus is primarily on recovery between rounds, everything I'm about to teach you about blood flow, hormone balance, lifestyle factors, and psychological elements applies just as much, if not more, to improving your first round performance. Keep that in mind as we go through this together. Now, let's clear up a fundamental misunderstanding that I hear constantly. When you can't perform again like you used to, many men immediately assume they're somehow broken, that they're weak, or that their sex life is essentially over. But here's the truth, and I need you to really hear this. This isn't failure. This isn't weakness. This is simply biology. What you're experiencing has a proper medical name. It's called the sexual refractory period. This is the recovery window after orgasm, when your body essentially says, "Not quite yet, mate." During this phase, it's either completely impossible or incredibly difficult to achieve another erection. For women, this recovery period can be remarkably short. Some women can experience multiple orgasms almost consecutively. But for us men, well, the length of recovery changes quite dramatically with age. When you are 18 or 20 years old, your refractory period might have been just a handful of minutes, sometimes even mere seconds. But by the time you reach your 40s, 50s and beyond, that window typically stretches to half an hour, perhaps an hour, sometimes even extending to just once per day. Here's the crucial point I want to make, though. A longer recovery time doesn't mean your sex life is finished. It doesn't mean you're past it. It simply means your physiology has shifted. And once you understand what's actually happening beneath the surface, you can work with it. You can even improve it. That's what we're here to discuss today. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Dr. Amelia Wright. I'm a board-certified urologist, and I've been working in this field for over 25 years now. I trained at King's College London, and I've spent the better part of the last 2.5 decades helping men restore their vitality, rebuild their confidence, and enjoy fulfilling intimate relationships at every stage of life. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds of men in their 50s, 60s, even into their 70s and 80s regain control of their sexual performance once they finally understood something crucial. Recovery and performance aren't just about willpower or wanting it badly enough. They're about biology, daily habits, and environment. Today I'm going to take you through the actual mechanics of the refractory period. Then I'll give you a countdown of the 5 biggest mistakes that make recovery slower, and what to do instead to speed things up and boost your stamina. Let's start with the science of what actually happens inside your body after you climax. Your hormones go through an absolute roller coaster. First, prolactin spikes dramatically. This is what we call the hormone of sexual satisfaction. It essentially tells your body, right, we're done for now, time to rest. Meanwhile, dopamine crashes. That's your motivation and excitement chemical. When it plummets, desire temporarily shuts down completely. At the same time, oxytocin rises. Now, oxytocin is lovely. It's the bonding hormone, brilliant for cuddling and feeling close to your partner, but it does suppress raw sexual drive. And then there's testosterone. This plays an absolutely massive role. Men with naturally higher testosterone levels bounce back considerably faster. Lower levels mean a longer, more drawn-out recovery period. Right, now we're getting to the practical bit. Here are the 5 mistakes that secretly stretch out your refractory period, and more importantly, what to do about them instead. Mistake number 1, chasing the second round instead of extending the first. Here's something most men never actually hear, and it's absolutely fundamental. The fastest way to recover isn't to frantically rush into round 2. It's to make round 1 last substantially longer. There's a technique I teach my patients called perineal pressure. Now, the perineum is that small area between your scrotum and your anus. Just beneath the skin there, you've got a tendon-like structure that's absolutely packed with sensitive nerve pathways. If you press firmly on this spot with 2 fingers right before you reach the point of no return, you can actually interrupt the ejaculatory reflex. When done properly, this leads to what's known as a dry orgasm. You still feel the contractions, you still experience the pleasure, but semen doesn't expel, and your erection often remains strong. Biologically speaking, this means you skip the full hormonal crash I mentioned earlier, because your body never fully enters that prolonged refractory phase. Emotionally, this gives you an incredible sense of mastery and control over your own body. Practically speaking, it's absolutely a skill. You won't master it overnight. It takes practice. But the men in my clinic who've persevered with this technique often describe it as unlocking an entirely new dimension to their intimate life. Imagine being able to keep going, staying fully present with your partner, instead of worrying about whether you'll manage to get it back up again. That's powerful. That's what we're aiming for. And if you've already ejaculated, well, let's talk about what slows recovery down dramatically. Mistake number 2, heavy meals, alcohol, and smoking. Have you ever noticed how absolutely sluggish you feel after tucking into a proper greasy fry-up or a massive Sunday roast? That's because blood is rushing to your digestive system to help process all that food, not to your reproductive system where you actually need it. Now, pair that with alcohol, which reduces testosterone production and constricts blood vessels, and smoking, which directly sabotages circulation throughout your entire body, and you've created the perfect storm for a weak erection and painfully slow recovery. Biologically, all 3 of these things actively steal blood flow from exactly where you need it most. Emotionally, they rob you of confidence. Instead of feeling vibrant, energetic, and alive, you feel heavy, tired, and disconnected from your body. Practically, the fix is actually quite straightforward. Save those heavy meals and alcohol for earlier in the evening, not right before you're planning intimacy. And if smoking is still part of your life, I cannot stress this enough. Quitting is genuinely one of the single fastest ways to reclaim proper erectile function. I've seen it time and time again in my practice. Blokes who quit smoking often notice improvements within just weeks. So, what actually helps recovery? That brings us to mistake number 3. Mistake number 3, neglecting oxygen and circulation. After ejaculation, your tissues desperately need oxygen-rich blood to recharge properly. But many men completely forget about the simplest, most accessible recovery tool available to them. Deep, controlled breathing. When you take slow, steady breaths from your diaphragm, you flood your bloodstream with oxygen, you calm your nervous system right down, and you improve circulation throughout your body. Gentle testicular massage can also help stimulate blood flow and support hormonal recovery. Biologically speaking, oxygen is literally fuel for your cells. Without adequate oxygen, recovery absolutely drags. Emotionally, breathing deeply puts you back in control of your body and your responses. Instead of frustration and anxiety, you feel calm, grounded, and present. Practically, all I'm asking is that you take 1 to 2 minutes after sex for controlled breathing. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4, then exhale for 6. Do that for just a couple of minutes. Also, stay properly hydrated. Erections depend fundamentally on good blood volume, and dehydration makes recovery incredibly sluggish. It's such a simple thing, but it makes a remarkable difference. But long-term, what truly builds a stronger sexual foundation? That's habit number 4. Mistake number 4. Ignoring fitness, weight management, and sleep. Think of your penis like an athlete. If you want peak performance, it needs proper training, quality fuel, and adequate recovery time. Let's break this down. Exercise. Cardiovascular exercise keeps your blood vessels flexible and responsive. Resistance training raises testosterone levels naturally. Even just 30 minutes of moderate activity 5 times per week can absolutely transform your stamina and recovery time. I've seen it countless times. Men who start exercising regularly often report noticeable improvements within weeks. Weight management. This is crucial. Excess belly fat converts testosterone into estrogen. That weakens function and extends recovery time significantly. If you're carrying extra weight around your middle, losing even 10 to 15 pounds can make a dramatic difference. Nutrition. Foods that boost nitric oxide production are your best friends. That means leafy greens like spinach and rocket, beetroot, dark chocolate with high cocoa content, and fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. These enhance blood flow naturally. Junk food, processed rubbish, too much sugar, they all do precisely the opposite. Sleep. This is absolutely non-negotiable. The vast majority of your testosterone is produced during deep sleep. Cut your sleep short, and you're cutting your hormone production. Full stop. Most men need 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. If you're only getting 5 or 6, you're sabotaging yourself before you've even started. Biologically, this foundation is utterly essential. There's simply no way around it. Emotionally, when your body feels strong and healthy, your mind follows. Your confidence returns. You start to feel like yourself again. Practically, start small if you need to. A brisk walk after dinner. Swapping fizzy drinks for water. Protecting those 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Each small habit compounds over time. They build on each other. And finally, the one mistake men rarely consider, but it can absolutely make or break recovery. Mistake number 5. Overlooking psychology and passion. Not every solution is purely physical. Sometimes the reason you're struggling to go again has considerably less to do with biology and far more to do with environment, emotional connection, and desire. If you've been with the same partner for many years, desire might simply feel different than it used to. That's completely normal. If you're stressed, frequently interrupted, or your bedroom doesn't feel like a private, relaxing space, your body may simply not respond the way you'd like. Biologically, chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which directly suppresses testosterone production. Emotionally, a lack of genuine passion erodes confidence and intimacy gradually over time. Practically, the solution often lies in rekindling desire and novelty. Try a different environment. Book a hotel for the night. Send your partner flirty texts during the day. Plan an actual proper date night, not just dinner in front of the telly. Have honest, open conversations about what genuinely excites both of you. Sometimes the fastest path to a stronger, more reliable erection isn't a pill or a technique. It's anticipation. It's that spark of genuine desire and excitement. So, let's bring all of this together now. Here's your complete roadmap to shortening your refractory period and reclaiming proper performance. First, prolong the first round using techniques like perineal pressure. This can be genuinely transformative. Second, avoid the recovery killers. That means moderation with alcohol, avoiding heavy meals before sex, and absolutely no smoking. Third, actively support circulation. Deep breathing, proper hydration, gentle massage. These all help. Fourth, build your foundation properly. Regular exercise, sensible nutrition, weight management, and protecting your sleep. This isn't optional. This is fundamental. And fifth, reignite genuine passion through novelty, anticipation, and real emotional connection with your partner. Now, I should mention that medical options do exist as well. Research from Oxford University has shown that sildenafil, that's Viagra, reduced refractory periods from an average of 10 minutes down to just 2 minutes in some studies. But medication must always be supervised by a qualified doctor. Never buy it online from dodgy websites. Always go through proper medical channels. The bigger lesson here is that biology is remarkably flexible. With the right signals, the right inputs, your body can adapt and improve, even later in life. Now, I need you to hear this clearly, because it's absolutely vital. You are not broken. You're not less of a man, because recovery takes longer than it used to. You're not past it. You're not finished. This is simply biology, and biology can be worked with. Even if your refractory period never shortens dramatically, you can still enjoy profoundly fulfilling intimacy by focusing on quality, presence, and genuine connection rather than just quantity. When you're able to last longer and your partner feels genuinely satisfied, your confidence absolutely soars. Your worth as a man and as a lover isn't measured by how many times you can manage in one night. It's measured by the connection you create, the energy you bring, and how present you are with your partner. So here's my challenge to you this evening. Instead of worrying about whether you can go again, try focusing on extending and improving that first round. Practice one of the habits we've discussed today. Take 2 minutes for deep, controlled breathing after sex. Look at rekindling some of that passion and novelty in your relationship, and start building those daily foundations. Fitness, proper nutrition, and protecting your sleep. Give it a fortnight, just 2 weeks, and I genuinely believe you'll be amazed at how your body responds when you finally give it the right support. I want to hear from you now. In the comments below, tell me which of these habits you're going to start with first. What resonated most with you today? And if this video has given you some clarity, some hope, some practical steps forward, please do hit that like button. Share it with a mate who might benefit from hearing this. And subscribe for more weekly content to help men over 50 reclaim confidence, strength, and intimacy. We're building something really special here, a community of men supporting each other without embarrassment or shame. Remember, gentlemen, getting older doesn't mean the end of vitality, passion, or a fulfilling sex life. With the right knowledge, small consistent daily changes, and a bit of patience with yourself, you can restore freedom, confidence, and genuine joy in your intimate life. I'm Dr. Amelia Wright. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.